The average family in 2021 spent $120 a month on clothes. That's over $1,400 per year. And we all know that the price of everything is going up. So that's probably going to go up at least another 20%. How do you keep the amount of money you spend on clothes down substantially so you can afford other things? Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, and today we're going to chat a little bit about thrifting because I just had the most amazing thrifting weekend with my mom. She lives on the border of Connecticut and Massachusetts. So in a 60-mile radius around her house, she's got, 10, 12 different thrift shops that we can go to. So we try at least once a year. I try to get out there so we can do a whole weekend of thrifting. My mom and I have actually come up with 7 tips that you need to know before you go thrifting to make sure that you have the best experience and the best savings possible. Before I go any further, I just want to let you know, stay tuned to the very end because I'm going to show you my haul. All of the great things that I got, how much I paid for everything, which ones were half price and which ones weren't half price. So if you like to see a thrift haul, stay until the end so you can see my thrift haul spread. Number 1, know the color of the day. This is very important because the color of the day gets 50% off the tag. Many of the thrift stores will take part in the color of the day. Some don't. We went to the red, white, and blue store. They do, Goodwill does, and Salvation Army does. However, the savers that we went to do not take part in the color of the day. So if you know the color of the day, you can do 2 different things. You can literally start out with the color of the day in mind. So don't buy anything unless it's blue. If blue is the color of the day, you're going to focus in on all blue tags and then figure out from there whether or not you like it, whether or not it's a good brand. Also, when you are doing your shopping, make sure you know your labels and your prices. Understand that if you see the toaster oven for $24.99, that Cuisinart toaster oven is probably worth $60. If it's $24.99 and half price, even if it's not half price, you know that you've got a fantastic deal on a gently used Cuisinart toaster oven. Same thing goes with other labels. We know LL Bean is a quality label. Even if you find an LL Bean jacket with a broken zipper, I don't know if they're still doing this or not. Check into this, but many times in the past, they've replaced that jacket for you because of the broken zipper. So if you pay $12 or $5 for an LL Bean jacket with a broken zipper, you can take it back to the company and they will give you a brand new jacket. Know your labels, know the costs of things, so you can make a smart decision on whether or not the thrifting price is worth it for that product. Number 2, get a cart. Always get a cart because you might find things that maybe you haven't decided on yet. If you see something that you like, that you think, I'm just not sure if I want to buy that, throw it in the cart because if you do decide you want it and you go back to get it, it's probably not going to be there. So always grab a cart. Number 3, have a list. My mom will keep a running list all the time of the things that she thinks of that she wants to look for. I did the same thing. On my list were little glass bottles that I could use to propagate plants because I bought 2 little bud vases at Target and they were $5 a piece, and I knew that I could get some smaller glass jars for much less than $5 a piece. Something else that I've had on my list for a long time is a little footstool. I have one footstool that my mom gave me, but it's just too big for this space. So I've been looking for a smaller footstool. I'll just give this one back to her when I find the one that I was looking for. Flannel shirts. For some reason, I don't know if it's the fall, whatever, I'm really in the mood for flannel shirts. And again, I knew that I could find them at the thrift store. Tip number 4, head to your favorite departments first. For example, I'm looking for things like baskets and bud vases, anything household. So I always head straight to the household department first. Plant stands, small furniture pieces, the footstool. That way I can get that off of my list and then move on to the next department, which was the men's department looking for shirts for my husband and the boys department looking for jackets for my boys. Tip number 5, wear comfortable clothes. A lot of times the thrift stores don't have changing rooms. Sometimes they do, sometimes they're full. It's just easier for me to wear a t-shirt so I can throw a sweater, a jacket, a t-shirt over my t-shirt and determine on whether or not I like it, whether or not they fit. Mirrors are everywhere. Changing rooms are a little bit more difficult to come by. This is a great idea. Last year when I was thrifting, I saw a young woman wearing a tank top and leggings. She had slip-on shoes on so she could literally pull pants, shirts right over her head, and she didn't have to wait for a dressing room, or if there wasn't a dressing room available, she was able to try on things right there in the aisle in front of the mirror. It was one of the smartest things I've ever seen. I was very impressed. You want to make sure you try on the clothes that you're going to get, because many times thrift stores do not allow returns. Sometimes they do. I did notice at a Goodwill store they were allowing a return with proper receipt. But for me, for example, my mom and the thrift stores are at least 2 hours away. I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to be able to get back there next week to return something. Making sure I try it on first, making sure it looks good, it feels good, I like the style, really does help with worrying about whether or not I'm going to be able to return it. Number 6, have a budget. I went there with $200. That's all I had once a year. That's all I was willing to spend. Now, I didn't necessarily need to spend all of it, but I knew that that was my maximum budget. I was able to get so much. So many things that were on my list were checked off this weekend. It was so much fun. And lastly, if you're able to, go often. Especially if you have that list and you're looking for specific things, going often will increase your chances of finding those things on your list. Now, you have to be disciplined. If you're gonna go often, you have to know that there's still a budget, number 1, and number 2, you're only looking for the things that you need. If you're the type of person who just loves to shop for sport and goes willy-nilly and knowing that you just don't need it, going often isn't gonna work. You're gonna have to have some discipline. One of the biggest mistakes that I've seen people make, and I chatted with my mom because my mom is pretty much an expert on this topic, is to not check over the things that you pick up. For example, I saw a video of a woman who had purchased this really beautiful glass Pyrex dish. It had a snap lid, it had compartments in it. It was a really nice piece, and she was super excited that it was only $3.50. However, when she got it home and she was looking it over, take the lid off of it, she noticed there was a big chunk of glass missing from the edge that she didn't notice with the lid on. Unfortunately, that stinks, and she couldn't have used it because it was a health hazard. Somebody could very easily cut themselves on that. She felt that she wasted $3.50 because they wouldn't take returns. Do the same thing with your clothes. Check under the arms for pilling. Check to make sure there are no holes, no stains, no buttons missing. Make sure that it's a good quality piece that is worth spending the money on. So here are some of the things that I got. Oh, look at, they're all toppled over. I really like the white milk glass. So these were so cute. These are going to go great on a shelf. $1. I think these were $1. This one was $1 too. Oh, let's see. $1.99. What I have noticed is some of the thrift stores have better prices than others. $8 for this. I think I'm going to paint the legs on this and recover the top. This really cute little coffee grinder, antique looking, so cute on my shelf. I have seen, here's all my baskets. Have seen a lot of baskets. Wooden bowls. I like wooden bowls too. Let's see, a great book. I actually am going to read this book, but that's not the main reason I got it. I did read The Doctor's Wife, but I liked this book because it's white, and it's going to go over there on my shelf. This I'm going to use. I've got a couple of nice bottles of wine, and we're having a basket raffle for a friend, a classmate of mine who passed in a car accident for his family. So I'm going to put a couple bottles of wine for the basket raffle. One of the things that I was on the hunt for were planters. I really enjoy plants, as you can tell. And I only found one. And it was $3.50, which was a little bit more than I kind of wanted to spend. But it's okay. It's cute. This I'm also going to put a plant in. Here's another little shelf thing. Okay, here is the stack of clothes. Now, there were quite a few fantastic things. Let me have a seat on the floor here. This is a backpack that I'm going to leave in the van. So I want to put some stuff in there so that I can just leave it right in there. Some snacks, some emergency change of clothes, maybe some sweatshirts, anything that we might need if we're out traveling and we might need to have on hand and we've forgotten. I can just leave this right in the van. Maybe first aid kit would be in there. One of the things I was looking for were jackets. So I got 2 of these jackets for the boys. This one. Here are the cute little bottles that I got to propagate my plants in. My mom always gives me plant clippings when I go to her house. So this way I have cute little glass jars and vases to put all of those little plant clippings in. Much cheaper than Target or even Hobby Lobby for that matter. I also got this really cute little stool to use as a plant stand. I was looking for something else to put in this hallway. I have, of course, these 2. This one a friend gave me. I think I'm going to paint them all, though. I really do like that white. Paint them all to match for aesthetic purposes. Well, that's it. That's my haul. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day.